everyone, I'm Kealy and this is Voice of a Creative, and today I'm here to show you my July makes. So July was quite a productive month. I managed to make 8 things. 3 are for my sister, or were for my sister, and then the rest were for me. And I was especially productive after filming my summer sewing plans video last week, and I managed to get all of the work in progress items that I listed in that video, apart from the t-shirts, done. And some of those were projects that I'd been working on for like years. So good to get them done. Just a little bit of a catch up. You might notice or you might not be able to see it, I don't know. I've got a bruise here in the centre of my throat. A little while ago somebody noticed on my video that I had a lump here on my thyroid, and it actually turns out that I have enlarged nodules inside, and just this week I went to get them drained. So they're totally benign, absolutely fine, but I went to get them drained and a sample taken as well. So it's a little bit bruised. It's been about a week now, but it's still a little bit bruised. So just to let you know, I am totally fine. It's just that's why there's the bruise just there. So I'm going to start off with the makes for me, and then I'll show you pictures of the makes that I made for my sister. So the first one is this one, and this is the Ashton top by Helens Closet. I've had this cut out for about 6 months now, so for a little while, but I thought it was finally time to get it sewn up, and I thought summer would be the perfect time to wear it, and I was totally right. This is beautiful fabric and it's so lovely and light and airy, and I definitely think that I need to make a few more of these for summer, although I am going to make a slight alteration. The fabric that I used is this. It was a little bit creased, which is from Like So Amazing. It is a tropical viscose, beautiful quality fabric. Really love it, and it's not see-through at all. This wouldn't normally be the kind of colour I would go for, but I'm so pleased that I did go for it because I love it. It's so lovely and bright, and that definitely has convinced me a little bit to go for some brighter fabrics, especially for tops, because I think that'll just brighten up my wardrobe just a bit. So with this pattern I made the size 12 in the B cup range. So my measurements are 37.5 bust, 31 waist, and then depending on where you measure the hip, from 38 to 42, kind of in that range. So this is view B, and I just made the longer length version and I didn't make any adjustments to the length. The one adjustment I did make, and I explained about this on the Bath Sewing Bee video, I did shorten it across the chest. So when I went to the Sewing Bodice Masterclass with Elisa Lex from By Hand London, we learned that you could adjust the length of something by adjusting here. So when I tried on my test version, the darts were too low, but the armholes were also too low. And it was about 1 inch kind of too low. And so what I thought is I would raise it totally across the front here and across the back, so raising the whole thing up, which meant the armhole now falls in the correct place on me. And the darts are also pointing at my apex, which is perfect as well. And everything else fits me really nicely. So I got out the pattern to show you this. So this is the back pattern piece. So literally what you do is, this pattern has a shorten and lengthen line across the back there and the same on the front. So you can just use that. And all I've done is folded it over, so just over 1/2 inch there, and then I've just secured it at the side and filled in the little gap that was left. So super simple adjustment to make, but if your armhole is too low or your dart is too low, certainly consider this. I did have to alter the facing and the front piece, so there's a few adjustments to make, but actually it makes it fit really well. So I'm really pleased with that overall. So let me get up and show you. So this is the top half. I chose the facing version so you can see the facing just there, but this was really lovely fabric to sew, and it lies nice and flat. It just gets sewed down at the side there to keep the facing down, but I haven't got any problems with it rising up or anything so far. With the hem I did something slightly differently. It was supposed to be a facing, but it just didn't fit. I don't know what I did. I think I stretched it out a little bit. So I just sewed it on, but then cut it off and folded it up. So it's just a double fold. If I didn't sew it on, it would be a bit short. So this is the length it comes on me. So it's, my hip bone is there. So it's just a little bit below my hip, but a really good length for wearing with jeans and skirts. I've got it on with some cropped short Hudson pants today, which I've got a little different pocket. So I made these last year for Japan. And yeah, it flows really nicely from the back. It also fits really nicely as well. So I'm pleased with the fit on the shoulders. The one change that I would make is I feel like it's comes out quite a lot on me, and I get a little bit of bagging kind of here. So what I would do just next time is I'm just going to adjust the pattern slightly to bring it in just at the waist just slightly, and then bring it back out. And I feel like I will be a lot happier with the fit because it will just bring it in just that little bit. But otherwise, really lovely summer pattern. So I will just get changed into my next make. So this is my next make. It is the Gilbert top by Helens Closet. And this is in a beautiful viscose from Like So Amazing. And I actually made 2 garments out of this fabric this month. I've actually made a matching skirt as well, which I will show you in a second. Just wanted to show you this separately first, because otherwise they get kind of lost in each other. So this is the newest release from Helens Closet, and I was really looking forward to it because one of the versions is a tie front shirt, which I absolutely love the idea of to wear with jeans. It's so casual and quite cool, I think. So I made a test version and then sewed up this, which is my first version. So I made view A of the pattern, which is the short sleeves and the tie. View B has longer kind of bell sleeves and no tie, so I do really want to make that version as well. And there's also a dress hack that I would love to make. So I went with the B cup size 12 for this one. Size 12 is pretty much my standard for Helens Closet patterns for top halves, and it worked out really well. So adjustments wise, I actually didn't have to adjust it too much. There were just a couple of things. So I did have to adjust the dart. So the dart was way too low on me on my test version. So you basically put a box around it and move it upwards, and I moved it up by about 1.5 inches. So it was quite a lot, but it now sits perfectly. So really happy with that. I thought, as with my last make, I would have to adjust it across here, but the armhole actually falls right in the right place for me. So I knew that that meant that I just had to move the dart. So I did that. And I also shortened the blouse at the waist by 1 inch as well. That was because it was falling too low and I wanted the tie to actually sit just below my, or kind of on my belly button. And on the test version it didn't, it was lower. And I thought, actually, I really like to be able to emphasize my waist. I need to make sure that that tie falls in the correct place. I did mess up a little bit on this top. So when I was, the instructions are absolutely great, but I'm just not very patient with woven makes. But basically, when I was attaching the collar, somehow this bit here got sucked in, and that is the right side. Yeah, so this got sucked in, and then the instructions say you need to trim it. So I trimmed it, and then I realised that it had got sucked in, and I unpicked it, and obviously there was like a massive like hole here, basically a cut mark down here. Luckily the collar actually hides it, but I did do a bit of a mend job, so I used the same colour thread to just fix it with a zigzag stitch, and then I added a little bit of embroidery to just strengthen some of the joins as well, just those few little stars there. But the collar basically covers it. So luckily I managed to save it, but I would have been so disappointed if I hadn't have been able to fix it. But it does make me think I need to pay a bit more attention next time. In terms of changes to the pattern, I did shorten the length of the sleeve. I do often shorten the lengths of sleeves on patterns because they come a lot lower on me, and I feel that makes me look quite wide across my chest. But the reason I shortened it on this occasion is because I didn't actually have enough fabric. So I was trying to squeeze a Donovan skirt and this out of 2 meters of fabric, and I just about squeezed it in, but literally the sleeves had to be super short, and I had thought I could add like a cuff piece on the sleeve, but by the time I sewed it up it actually worked out really well. The only difference is I couldn't turn in the sleeve, so I used bias binding to finish the sleeve. So I just stitched it on and then folded it round. I didn't use the same colour thread on the other side, but it actually turned out really nicely and I'm quite pleased with that finish. So that's definitely something I will consider doing again in the next one I make. I do want to do a full review video for this, but I'm waiting until I've made the other version because I like to be able to show you the different versions that I've made, but hopefully that will be coming up fairly soon. So love the collar detail. And then I chose these buttons from my stash. I thought that they went really nicely. This version only requires 3 buttons, so that's super easy to add. And then you've got the tie there. So let me just stand back and show you. I would wear it with high-waisted trousers. These aren't high-waisted or high-waisted skirt, but it ties just where my belly button is, so that works really well, and then falls down nice and lightly at the back. So it's really lovely to tuck in as well. You can undo the tie and tuck in. It means there's not too much fabric there to be tucked in. The hem is just a really diddy hem. That was quite tricky to do, but actually it turned out all right in the end, so super pleased with that. And the same on the tie as well. So it just ties together like this. And I think it just looks really cute. So let me put the skirt on and I can show you the two together. So these are the two mixed together. So this is the Donovan skirt, the bottom one. I've made this quite a few times before, and I've just tucked the blouse in so it makes a kind of dress hack. I feel very 80s in this, but I've been reassured that that's the fashion trend at the moment. So I don't know if I'm gonna wear these together, but I think it is a cute set, but I love that it can be mixed and matched as well, which is great. And yeah, it just tucks in. So with this skirt, I did make it as I've made it before. The differences with this is I didn't include the pockets. And the reason I didn't make the pockets is mainly because I don't often use the pockets, because when they're made in viscose, you can't really put much in your pocket anyway. But it's because I wanted to save fabric. So the fabric that you need for the Donovan skirt pockets is the same because it loops round here, and so you need the same fabric. But I wouldn't have had enough to make the top and the skirt if I'd have done the pockets. So I just chose to exclude them. And what I did is I cut the back piece of the skirt twice as opposed to cutting the back and the front. And then it's just got the simple elastic. So super pleased with this, and it's, you can't probably quite see, but I will insert a photo. It just comes just above my knee, this skirt. So I think it looks cute together. I'll show you from the back. You get that slight kind of ballooning with the tuck in, which I think looks cute as well. So yeah, really pleased with both of these makes. Not sure about them together, but definitely love them separately. And I will just swap into a different top so I can show you the skirt a bit better. So don't know that this is a winning outfit combination, but it shows that the Ashton top goes, shape-wise, goes with the Donovan skirt. So you've got the standard elasticated waist, so the adjustment I make on the waistband is I actually reduce it by 1/3, and then it just comes down to knee length. So really lovely standard skirt. I've got 3 of these now, and I will I've got 4 of these now, and I will definitely make more of them. So I will just get changed into my next make. So my next make is actually the Nest skirt by Tilly and the Buttons. Now this has been cut out since the Nest pattern came out, so it's 1.5 years, and I've only just finished sewing it up, so I will show you it in just a second. But I just wanted to show the inside of the skirt. So I've added a Room for Cake label, which is by Pink Coat Club, which I think is super cute. I've also added a label to this top and to the skirt I'm wearing as well. I'm trying to add labels to my makes as just a finishing touch, and I will link Pink Coat Club below so you can check out some of her super cute labels. So the next one is a skirt. Now the Nest skirt was a skirt that I was really drawn to because I thought, oh, it's a simple style. You'd pair it with a lot of things and get a lot of wear out of it, high-waisted, so you can tuck t-shirts in. And I wanted to make a denim version, so I selected some fabric that I had, which was from So Essential denim, and it's just got a slight stretch to it. It's a really dark denim, and I started to sew it up. So I only just finished this. I can't believe I've actually finished it. I'm really pleased about that. But let me just stand up and show you. So it's a bit tricky to show a skirt. So you've got the pockets and the button there, so it's a jeans button, and then it's a zip fly, which I think I did fairly well on, although you can see the zip coming out just a little bit. What I would say is, so this one I made in, I'm not sure what size I made it in, but basically I graded the seam allowance from the full seam allowance here to just a centimetre seam allowance down the side. I think I need to size up on the hips. So I think on the waist it sits really nicely on the waistband, but I feel like it's a little tight on my hips, and I think I need to just have a little bit more wiggle room. It does feel quite tight, and I'm getting kind of crease marks here, which I would prefer not to have. So I think on the next version that I make, I will size up. So I will grade from whatever size I made for the waist and grade out for the hips, because I just feel like I need a little bit more room just here. As a bit of wiggle room. But really pleased with it overall. I did this top stitching in matching thread, and the same with the pockets. And yeah, so I'm pleased with it. I don't know how much wear I'm going to get out of this version because it does feel a little bit tight, but I think it goes really well with a little vest top for summer, so that could look really cute as well. And I'm maybe going to make a few in school appropriate fabrics as well to wear some to school. But yeah, it feels really nice and comfortable on the waist, but it's just a little bit tight on the hips, so I think I will size up there. But definitely like it as a make, and I will be making another one, but I'm not sure how quickly that's going to happen. I mean, it took me 1.5 years to sew this one up. So the next make I'm going to show you, I actually already showed you in my Iris Tee review video. So it's a hack of the Iris Tee pattern from Forget Me Not Patterns, which is a recent release, and I absolutely love the pattern. And this is the dress. Now I'm not actually going to put it on because it's way too warm because it's long sleeved, but I will pop in a picture, and if you want to see it in kind of full flare, then go and watch the Iris Tee review video. So the top half of this is just the normal Iris Tee with the 3/4 sleeve view. I make the size 38 in this, and it fits me perfectly with no alterations. And what I just did is added a skirt onto it. So I drafted the skirt from my self-drafted dress pattern, and I just attached it and then hemmed the bottom. So I will pop in a picture of me in the dress, but I absolutely love it. Even though it's a plain, I think it's a beautiful colour, and I think it turned out really nicely as well. And I think I will get a lot of wear out of it, and I am considering making a few more hack dresses with the shorter version sleeve as well. So the last 3 makes were for my sister. So the first one that I made was a pair of cigarette trousers out of a black ponte that I had in my stash already, and she's taken those to wear already. So they were traced from a pair of Next trousers. Last month I made her a pair of navy polka dot ones, and she's already wearing those like quite a lot. And so this month I made her a black pair, which I will pop in a picture of the trousers. Super simple pattern traced, and it fits her really well, and they fit me really well as well. So I'm going to be making some for me, hopefully for winter, and I am going to order a few more pontes so I can make her some as well. The second thing I made for her was a cardigan. Originally it was supposed to be for me, but when I tried it on I felt like it wasn't quite me, just due to the colour. So I will insert a picture of me wearing it so you can see just some quickly taken pictures. Now I made this in a charcoal rib knit that I got from Like So Amazing. Beautiful fabric, really easy to work with, but as you know if you've watched my videos for a little while, I don't tend to wear grey or black really. I've gone over to kind of navies and blues and other colours like that. So I did feel that it didn't really fit in with the colours that I wanted to wear in my wardrobe, but my sister saw it and really liked it, and so I've passed it on to her to wear. And I made this pattern here. So this is the Simplicity Pattern Hacking 8377. There's so many different versions. So I made the kind of 3/4 length version, which was this one, with the, I had intended to make 3/4 length sleeves, but what I did was add a cuff in the end because I just felt like the finish on the sleeve wasn't quite right. So I added a cuff, and then it's just faced and then you stitch down, which worked out quite well. So definitely recommend this pattern. Size wise, I cut out a size medium, but I had to make quite a large alteration on the shoulder. I almost had to take an inch off of the shoulder, and I could have really taken a little bit off of the armhole as well. So just check, maybe if you've got like a t-shirt pattern or something, check against it, just because the shoulder was a bit strange. But I will definitely make it again. I love that this has so many different versions, and I'm going to try out some different fabrics with that one as well. And the last thing I made, which isn't quite finished yet, but you will have seen it if you watched my sewing plans video, is this self-drafted, or kind of drafted traced vest top. So to make this pattern, I started off with the Iris T pattern, and then I've adjusted the pattern to make it appropriate. So shaping wise, the side shaping comes from the t-shirt, as well the shoulder lines. I've lowered the neckline at the front and back just a little bit, but then this is finished with a double fold, so instead of a neckband. And then I lowered the sides quite a lot. Actually, this is slightly too lowered. I need to bring it up just a touch. But again, these are finished with a double fold. So super simple vest top. And this is for my sister. Once I hem it, she can actually wear it. And I've got a whole host of other fabrics that picked out to make some more for her as well, and some for me for wearing just at home during the summer. And I think that they will get a lot of wear. So quite a productive month. I'm super pleased that I was able to finish a lot of my kind of UFOs, my work in progress pile. I've got a few t-shirts left in that I said I was going to finish this summer, so I'm going to hopefully get on with that later today and get some more sewing in before starting on the makes for my sister. So again, I think August is going to be quite a productive month. I'm off of school for the summer, so I do have a lot more sewing time, so hopefully we'll get quite a few things done. One thing that I am looking for now is a shorts sewing pattern. So if you have any recommendations for kind of summer shorts or kind of culottes or just trousers that you could make with kind of linen and viscose or like a stretch cotton, please comment them down below, because I want to have a look, and I'm going to commit myself to actually making some trousers out of a woven fabric that fit, so I can kind of conquer that challenge, as it were, because I do kind of avoid trousers, as you may have noticed through all my dresses and skirts. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked this video, please press the thumbs up and subscribe if you want to hear more from me. Goodbye!